afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4. It's Friday. Another long week, but we made it.
The sun is out, and that kind of helps weather-wise.
Yeah, it absolutely does, and the trees are starting to turn spectacular.
Beautiful.
We'll get to the weather in a minute, but first, today was day 2 in the trial of Darrell Brooks for his role in the Waukesha parade tragedy. How was his behavior today?
A State Street legend has relocated, but it feels a lot like home at B-Side Records.
And President Biden reveals his concern about a potential nuclear threat from Russia, while he's comparing this period to the Cuban Missile Crisis 60 years ago. Let's take a look outside. As we mentioned, the leaves are spectacular. The sun was out. Great weather, but the growing season should end tonight. Greg's in the backyard with the chilly details.
Yeah, it is a little bit chillier today than it was yesterday, but overall, we're going to see temperatures. Yeah, we got an alert day for tonight just because of the possibility for freeze conditions, upper 20s, low 30s. Basically, this covers from all Wisconsin right now. You see the freeze warning is out for pretty much the whole entire area except further north because they've already saw the freezing conditions last week. So once again, right now we've had a lot of low-level clouds. Well, all that cold air coming south has kept our temperatures around the upper 40s to low 50s. Even got some pretty impressive lake effect showers going to Lake Superior and Lake Michigan. Even had a few flakes of snow either in the peninsula of Michigan too. So overall, that won't be a factor, but we'll still have the cloud cover. That will kind of dissipate towards this evening. Right now, temperatures right around 50 degrees. We have some mid-50s in a few spots, but overall, most locations are struggling to get into the low 50s, and that's pretty much for Dane County wide. A few spots have hit the 51-degree mark, but overall, that's about 14 degrees below what we should be this time of year. So we will cool down this evening. Winds will calm down, but it will be chilly. So if you're coming out to high school football, dress appropriate. And I'll explain later on the status of all those leaves colors and how warm it may get this weekend a bit later in the broadcast.
All right. Thank you, Greg. First at 4, today was the second day of testimony in the trial of Darrell Brooks, charged in the Waukesha Christmas parade attack.
After lunch and testimony from his ex-girlfriend in the events leading up to the disaster, Brooks broke down and cried today. Brooks said that he was just a little emotional and he reached for a tissue and kept his head down. Eventually, proceedings continued and more witnesses were called to the stand, including a man who told the court in the moments before the accident he saw a driver in a red SUV going the wrong way down a road.
Do you see that person present in this courtroom here?
I do, yeah.
Your Honor, I'm going to ask that Mr. Brooks be instructed to remove his mask temporarily.
Mr. Brooks, you're instructed to take off your mask temporarily and look up, please. Thank you.
So at the time, there was a lot more dark facial hair features and longer hair as well.
During cross-examination, objections were raised to Brooks's questions due to the nature of the question and his aggressive behavior. At least this morning, Brooks seemed to be more subdued and less combative in court.
Criminal defense attorney Chris Van Wagner told our Naomi Coles that could indicate how the rest of the trial may go. Naomi?
That's right. Van Wagner is a seasoned defense attorney in Wisconsin, and he doesn't see a lot of good outcomes for Brooks here, but what he saw as a change in persona this morning could mean Brooks can stay more involved in his own trial going forward. Now, while his cross-examination of witnesses was wandering and unfocused, it was at least less disruptive. For that, he actually credits, or Van Wagner credits, the judge's handling.
The judge has the patience of Job. It's astonishing that she has been able to keep an even keel throughout his antics. And I'll say that today, her demeanor toward him seems to have paid off. Because today he's been acting calm, he's been organized, he's been directed, and he's not acted out yet in front of the jury. He's in the courtroom today.
As this comes after a week of interruptions and misbehavior, kind of unheard of in this kind of trial, Van Wagner is spending the time on For the Record this Sunday at 10:30 to break down what to expect and how this impacts a defendant's right to a fair trial.
There was some speculation earlier this week about a gag order in this trial. Did Chris Van Wagner think that was one example of the restraint that the judge is using?
You know, in some ways, yes. There is an allowance. There's past precedent to use gag orders, but in this case, he pointed out it's really an issue of modern technology. Because the judge was able to put him in a different room, use Zoom, she didn't need to go that far in terms of using the precedent that has been set long ago in the past to use that kind of gag order.
But as we move forward, what happens if Brooks gets uncontrollable again?
Yeah, like I said, we talked this morning, so his comments on the behavior was only based on his morning's behavior, but what he told me was the lawyer and him and Van Wagner, he worries about him being potentially barred from cross-examination in the future if this kind of behavior were to continue next week, right? The Sixth Amendment guarantees the right to a fair trial, and in that guarantee is a right to cross-examination. So the choice of allowing this behavior or cutting off his Sixth Amendment rights is what the judge could be faced if his behavior, especially in questioning witnesses, kind of goes back to what we saw earlier this week.
It's very complicated, including questioning witnesses of the victims' families if they're called to testify. He'll be in a position to do that, so the judge will have to monitor that very closely.
It's such a complicated position for her to be in, right? He has a right to represent himself. He has a right to cross-examination, but the victims also have rights. And what Van Wagner told me is that as long as he maintains good behavior, that he could potentially go forward and question those witnesses' families, and ultimately it's to avoid the basis for an appeal so that they don't have to go through this a second time.
Yeah. All right, we'll keep an eye on things. Naomi, thank you. And
Naomi, thank you.
Tune into Channel 3, 10:30 a.m. Sunday morning to watch For the Record and hear Naomi's full conversation with criminal defense attorney Chris Van Wagner. And another programming note, you can watch tonight's U.S. Senate debate featuring the first head-on meeting between incumbent Republican Ron Johnson and his Democratic challenger Mandela Barnes. You can find that at 7 o'clock on our sister channel, Television Wisconsin. That's 3.2 over the air or channel 14 on cable and satellite provider DirecTV. You can also see it live streamed on channel3000.com. Well, after months of uncertainty about where they were going to live next year, a group of UW students feels a weight off their shoulders.
The Zoe Bayless Co-op has found a new home on Langdon Street that they plan to run independently from university housing after a 67-year partnership. Our Tahalil Moadine shows us around the new spot. Tahalil?
That's right. The co-op search for a new home began when UW leadership announced their building on Johnson was being torn down for a new academic building. The university did offer them an alternative space, but it came with a rent hike. The new property still needs a lot of renovations, but it does mean rent will stay low. That continues the co-op's mission to bring affordable housing to students. After months of meetings with real estate companies, private sellers, and private property tours, Zoe Bayless leaders say they're thrilled to have found a partner they can rely on.
Madison Community Cooperative, they share in the same values as Zoe Bayless, and the way that they've set things up, the only way that we would be moved out of this house is if we as a house voted that we didn't want to live here anymore.
MCC will be the primary sponsor for the new space, but Zoe Bayless does also rely on fundraising and nonprofit grants to keep the lights on. They plan to have the new house up and running for next year's fall semester. Tonight at 6, we'll have more on the new space and the university's response to the move.
We'll see you then. Thank you. A series of speed reductions on roads across Madison this year will wrap up next week when the speed limit is reduced on Seago Road. Starting Monday, October 10th, the entire stretch of Seago from University Avenue to Odana Road will see its speed limit drop from 30 to 25 miles an hour. City officials say Seago Road has seen a total of 8 injury crashes since 2017, including 3 involving people who were walking or biking in the area. This will be the 6th Vision Zero speed reduction on Madison roads this year, following East Washington Avenue, John Nolan Drive, Mineral Point Road, Old Sauk Road, Whitney Way, and Portage Road.
The FBI and IRS believe that after years of investigating Hunter Biden, they have enough evidence to prosecute the president's son. Federal prosecutors believe they could charge Hunter Biden with tax crimes and making false statements on a gun purchase, but a final decision still has not been made by the U.S. Attorney in Delaware. Sources tell CBS News the FBI sent its findings earlier this year to U.S. Attorney David Weiss in Delaware. Weiss was appointed by President Trump and is yet to bring charges.
Got to make that final call under the principles of federal prosecution, not the initial call that the FBI has made in gathering evidence.
The federal criminal probe explored whether the younger Biden, his uncle James, and other business associates violated tax, money laundering, and foreign lobbying laws. Earlier this year, the probe narrowed, focusing on delinquent tax payments, including income Hunter Biden earned as a board member for a Ukrainian energy company. A source close to the president's son said he repaid more than $1 million in past due taxes. Today, the White House confirmed there is no new information that would lead U.S. officials to believe Russia is planning an imminent nuclear attack on Ukraine.
But last night, President Biden expressed just how serious the U.S. is taking threats, saying the risk of Armageddon is the highest since the Cuban Missile Crisis. Natalie Brand reports from the White House.
Russian missiles obliterating this apartment building in Zaporizhia is the latest example of Russian forces stepping up its deadly attacks in civilian areas it annexed illegally last week.
Very angry. It's not possible in our time.
But as Ukrainian forces have made gains, Russia has become more desperate. Russian President Vladimir Putin recently alluded to the possibility of using tactical nuclear weapons. President Biden commented on the threat Thursday while at a fundraiser. He said, quote, "We have not faced the prospect of Armageddon since Kennedy and the Cuban Missile Crisis."
This is a very serious war that the Russians see as against NATO, not just against Ukraine.
Ian Bremmer, president of Eurasia Group, says while he agrees it's the most dangerous period since 1962's Cuban Missile Crisis, he still characterizes the risk as very low.
The White House and President Biden have directly let the Kremlin know exactly what would happen to Russia if they were to do that. I think the likelihood of nuclear weapons use, thankfully, is very, very low. I'd put it at 5%, for example.
The White House says there's been no new nuclear assessment that prompted the president's comments and added the U.S. has not seen a reason to adjust its nuclear posture. As the West urges Putin to de-escalate, President Biden in his comments Thursday also said he's trying to figure out how Russia can find a way out of the conflict.
The potential off-ramp, frankly, is not in the next few weeks. It's likely in a couple of months or more, as it becomes clear that the front lines are more settled, that the Ukrainian counteroffensive is petering out.
Experts hope there's still an opportunity for negotiations to bring this 7.5-month war on Ukraine to an end. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Ukrainian officials say the bodies of 530 people have been discovered since September 7th in the recaptured areas of the Kharkiv region.
B-Side Records is back open at their new location on State Street. One of the downtown Madison's only remaining record shops had faced permanent closure after nearly 40 years on the 400 block of State Street due to the J.D. McCormick development. The new space is a little bigger than the original store and sees B-Side move back next door to its old neighbor, Freedom Skate Shop, which reopened in a new spot at 512 State Street in March.
Turning people on to music, just by playing it in here, my favorite thing is when people ask me what's playing and then they think about buying it. I love that.
The store has changed a bit with its new location, but the owner's son said it still has a similar shape and feel to the old location.
A lot of people raised money for the UW Carbone Cancer Center today at the 5th annual Round for Riley. In September of 2017, Riley was just 18 months old when she was diagnosed with a childhood cancer called neuroblastoma. Riley went through a grueling fight and passed away just 8 months later. Today, Riley is remembered through a golf outing to raise money to make sure that no child has to go through what she did.
And I just want you to know that you all, when you're here, ease our heartache. You all make it possible for us to stand up here and to come here. It's all you guys, it's all of you. And I cannot thank you enough from the bottom of my heart, because you're easing our heartache, and we could not do this without you.
The money goes directly to research at the UW Carbone Cancer Center. This is the 5th year, and there were 56 teams this year.
Good work, everybody.
Great day for it, too.
Still to come at 4, the Wisconsin Alumni Association is making some additions to its alumni park.
One of the 11 new honorees is the U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, Linda Thomas Greenfield. We'll talk with her when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, Live at 4.
It's A1 Furniture's anniversary sale with up to 43% off store-wide and 43 months free financing. Plus, get tax included on purchases over $9.99. Huge selection in stock now at A1 Furniture.
Madison's locally owned family furniture store.
Stop whitening your smile the old-fashioned way with strips and trays that can take 30 minutes to an hour. I'm Jonathan Greenhut, the CEO of Power Swabs. When I met Dr. Ginniker and he introduced me to Power Swabs and I saw how effective they were and how easy they were to use, I knew we had to share it with the world. Power Swabs was clinically studied to whiten natural teeth as well as stained caps, crowns, and veneers. It's so effective, it works on stains caused by coffee, tea, red wine, and even smoking. For those of you who have that one stained tooth that's darker than the rest, Power Swabs can target that area using swab precision.
I really love the fact that you're able to go individually on each tooth and make sure that it's going to be wider.
If you have yellowing between your teeth, if you have coffee or tea stains near your gum line, just snap, swab, and smile. And in each 5-minute application, you'll see whiter teeth. So stop whitening your smile the old-fashioned way with strips and trays that can take 30 minutes to an hour, and start using the Power Swabs 5-minute solution. Just snap, swab, and smile.
After just 7 days, the results were awesome. Power Swabs was easy to use every day, and each day I could see it better and better, and from beginning to end, it's definitely whiter. They look clean, they feel clean. And people have made comments about it, which is nice.
Call for your 5-minute solution to whiter teeth. Order Power Swabs and receive up to 40% off the retail price. And as an added bonus, by ordering in response to this advertisement, get a free Power Swabs Quick Stick Pen with your order. The Quick Stick Pen is your on-the-go solution to help prevent stains from adhering to your teeth after drinking coffee, tea, or even after smoking. And in addition to saving up to 40% on your purchase and your free Quick Stick Pen, get free shipping by ordering now. Dial the number on your screen or visit powerswabs.com today.
Most senators couldn't tell you the cost of a gallon of milk. Thanks, Ruben. Or how much beef has gone up this year. But I'm not like most senators or any of the other millionaires running for Senate. My mom was a teacher and my dad worked third shift. I know how hard you work. And I know that by bringing manufacturing home, we create jobs and we lower costs. If we want to change Washington, we got to change the people we send there. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Don't miss A1 Furniture's anniversary sale. Save up to 43% off name brand mattresses and get 43 months free financing. Plus, get tax included on purchases over $9.99. Huge selection in stock now at A1 Furniture.
Madison's locally owned family furniture store.
Welcome back. The fever hasn't broken yet for the U.S. job market.
The federal government reports the economy added 263,000 jobs in September. That is slightly higher than economists estimated. Many employers are still hiring, but it appears the red-hot job market is cooling down.
Well, I think what's good is that job growth is decelerating at a pretty good pace, meaning that it's not jumping off of a cliff.
Meanwhile, the unemployment rate ticked down to 3.5%. The Federal Reserve is looking for signs of weakness in the job market. The board has been raising interest rates to fight inflation, but prices remain high. If the Fed sees that hiring slows dramatically in the coming months, it may cause them to ease those interest rate hikes.
But for now, those good numbers result in bad numbers on Wall Street. The Dow Industrials lost 630 points, ending the week at 29,296. The NASDAQ down 420 points, or almost 4%. The S&P 500 gave up 104, or almost 3%. This is the worst day on Wall Street since the throes of the September sell-off. Well, the Wisconsin Alumni Association is celebrating the 5th anniversary of Alumni Park this weekend.
11 new alumni honorees will be featured in the park, which is right next to the Memorial Union.
Including Linda Thomas Greenfield. She is the U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, and she joins us live from campus. Madam Ambassador, welcome back to Madison.
Great to see you.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be here.
How did your time at UW-Madison prepare for this legendary career that you've had?
That's a great question. I'm not sure that I knew that I was preparing for this career or this particular job. But what I got from this university were values of service. I got to learn about the world. I got more engaged in world issues. So I think as I look back that I was being prepared for this. But none of us can guess where we're going to be 30 years after we graduate. So here I am.
You came here for graduate school. How did a girl from Louisiana make it all the way to Wisconsin? Did you always intend to be a diplomat?
No, I didn't. I didn't even know that that was a possibility growing up in Louisiana. So I came here for a one-year master's degree program and had expected that I would get my master's degree and return to Louisiana and eventually go to law school. But this campus is enticing. I got wrapped up into this campus life, into learning about other parts of the world. And once I was here, I couldn't see myself going back to Louisiana. And so one thing led to another. I ended up going to Africa. I then got interested in the Foreign Service, took the Foreign Service exam, and here I am.
And coming out of retirement to head the U.S. delegation to the United Nations. What went through your mind when President Biden nominated you?
I still feel a sense of shock when the president approached me about this job. I hadn't realized that it was even a possibility. As you noted, I'd retired. And I was working on the transition team to help the administration set up and start. So when this opportunity was put in front of me, I was in shock. And I have to admit, I'm still in shock. But it's been a year and a half, and it's been an amazing job. It's been a challenging job, as you know. We're dealing with issues that are life-changing. We're dealing with peace and security every single day. But I think that I was prepared to do this, and I think I'm rising to the challenge.
You engaged in something called gumbo diplomacy. What is that?
You know, I am a cook. I'm a cook before I'm a diplomat. And I love to cook. And I started, as I traveled overseas, to cook Louisiana food for my friends and my contacts, and they all enjoyed it. And I found that it was a way to help people to relax, to soften sometimes difficult conversations where you're talking about food. And the fact that I prepared the food myself, that it was kind of a cultural thing for me, being from Louisiana. And if you've had gumbo, you know that it is extraordinary. I think mine's the best, and most people would agree. And so it became part of my ethos of diplomacy, and that's gumbo diplomacy. And I heard someone do an article saying she does gumbo diplomacy and not gunboat diplomacy.
Oh.
So I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, and congratulations on this honor as well as part of the Alumni Park. Welcome back to Madison.
Welcome back to Madison. Have a wonderful weekend, Linda. It's great to see you. Great to talk to you.
I'm truly, truly honored. Truly honored. Thank you.
With us. Well, as parts of Florida try to recover from the devastation caused by Hurricane Ian, one town in the path of the storm came out unscathed.
We'll find out what the community of Babcock Ranch did to make its town unique. That's coming up after Greg's First Warn forecast.
Save Fresh Perks, it's easy to get lower than low prices for the win. You also earn fuel points on every purchase to save big at the pump. Pick and Save Fresh Perks. All you do is win big savings. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Ashley's Ultimate Sale is going on now. Shop in store today and get ultimate discounts. Clearance items are up to 78% off. Plus, get a bonus 10% off our sale prices at checkout. Don't miss these ultimate savings. Only at Ashley.
How do you use your energy? Inspiring a spark of creativity? Working hard to reach your goals? Thinking outside the box to bring your vision to life? At Alliant Energy, we're creating more clean, renewable energy every single day to power what matters to you. Because even during the most powerful moments in our lives, we're not thinking about power, we're thinking about a brighter future. Alliant Energy, powering beyond.
Hey, we're here at the local farmers market where Informed Choice Insurance Agency is offering fresh, hand-picked local Medicare. What do you mean when you say shop local for Medicare?
Your local Medicare plans have all of the bells and whistles the national TV ads promise, only better because you're working with local agents who know the doctors, specialists, and the hospital networks inside and out. You're not going to get that talking to a national call center wanting to check your zip code.
Don't be fooled by national TV hype. When it comes to your Medicare options, keep it local with Informed Choice Insurance Agency, and their services are free.
I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Ron Johnson caught lying. Independent fact checks call his attacks on Mandela Barnes false and misleading. But it's Johnson's views that are alarming. Johnson supported a ban on abortions. He co-sponsored a bill that makes no exceptions for rape, incest, or the life of the woman. And Johnson said if women don't like it, they can move. The truth is, it's Ron Johnson who doesn't belong in Wisconsin.
Get into the spirits with Madison Magazine. Scare up area ghosts and haunts. Visit the local suppliers of Hollywood's ghoulish props and learn the dark history of campus discrimination. Madison Magazine, online and on newsstands now.
Want to know right now what the weather will be like tomorrow? Download the First Warn Weather app and you'll get my customized forecast for tonight and tomorrow.
The First Warn Weather app. Get it now. Powered by News 3 Now.
Ashley's Ultimate Sale is going on now. Shop in store and get the ultimate mattress discounts. Get 55% off select Beauty Rest mattresses. Plus, buy any Tempur-Pedic mattress and get $300 in free furniture. Don't miss these ultimate savings. Only at Ashley.
With the Pick and Save app, no matter where you order free pickup, you get the same great deals as you'd get in our stores. So start your cart today. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Well, take a look at this. Jack-o'-lantern World in Lake Zurich, Illinois is open for the fall season. The walkthrough of thousands of hand-carved jack-o'-lanterns by over 50 artists takes place from now until October 30th. In the past, the designs have paid tribute to celebrities, sugar skulls, dinosaurs, even a section dedicated to breast cancer awareness as jack-o'-lantern supports Susan G. Komen. Food trucks and drinks are also available through the event. Those are all pumpkins?
Yep. What a great idea. I would love to see that.
Well, we should all get in the car and go.
I think we should do it in Madison. Start it in Madison.
That is spectacular. Speaking of spectacular, the leaves are really turning.
We are getting close to peak. And I think this weekend will probably be a great weekend to see it. It'll be cold, not like last weekend, but yeah, definitely I think we will see it.
In the car.
So I'll break down that and how cold it'll get tonight and actually how warm it'll get this weekend. And there is a warm up for early next week too.
Some ideas seem good, but aren't.
Maybe she could sell her house.
What could go wrong?
Like listing your house, then dealing with all the trouble, expense, not to mention closing costs. We Buy Ugly Houses can buy your house fast for all cash as is with no hassle. Call or click to sell quick.
Mandela Barnes is spreading a lot more than just peanut butter. Barnes didn't pay thousands in property taxes on his Milwaukee condo, bought with family money. While not paying property taxes, Barnes bought a second condo, went to Vegas, even sat courtside for a Bucks game. Asked about his unpaid taxes, Barnes said,
It's Juneteenth. Yeah, hey, this Juneteenth, they want to talk about property.
Now Barnes wants to talk about peanut butter. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Squeaky, creaky, leaky entry doors from big box stores should be ignored. Scott the window guy does entry doors. He can do yours and so much more.
new entry doors at ScottTheWindowGuy.com.
It's our biggest sale of the year. Get back to your health and fitness goals by joining Anytime Fitness for just $1 now through October 7th. Let us help you turn no I can't into yes I can. Now through October 7th, join Anytime Fitness for just $1. Hurry in today.
Tim Michael's company has been sued numerous times for sexual assault and harassment in the workplace. But he says
people love working at Michael's.
Women said they were groped, assaulted, and pressured to have sex with their bosses.
We have a great work culture.
Higher-ups called the women liars and fired those who spoke out. So when he says this,
we have a great work culture,
know that the culture comes from the top.
Hi, this is Lisa from 4Imprint. Yes. I'd like 50 welcome wows, 300 customer I love it, and 200 team member oh yes. Certainly. You know we got some brand new woohoos.
Dial up the wow factor with promotional products from 4Imprint. We specialize in awesome items that are certain to awe and guaranteed to deliver some ooh yes. From apparel, backpacks, drinkware to high-tech items.
Wow.
I love it. Woohoo! Go to 4imprint.com and find some wow now. 4Imprint, for certain.
Some ideas seem good, but aren't.
These guys will buy our house without even seeing it.
Online buyers make offers that seem attractive at first, only to lower or cancel at the last minute. We Buy Ugly Houses won't reduce or cancel our firm cash offers before closing. Call or click to sell quick.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Yeah, we're going to probably experience some of the coldest temperatures we saw all season right now, but leaves status really, we're seeing a lot of areas becoming peak towards the north, central Wisconsin, even southern Wisconsin. This will change probably day by day right now, so it's going to be probably another week. We'll see most of the state in the peak, so get out and enjoy it. It should be nice, a dry weekend, just more colder than we had previous weekend. Otherwise, for the next 24 hours, we're going to see cloud cover. Right now, we've seen it push to the south with the front overall, just northerly winds continue to push some of this cloud cover, low-level cloud cover overhead. Then we have some showers over Lake Michigan because of that cold air that's coming across. Our next system is well to the north, but that's only going to provide more just cloud cover. Overall, we zoom in, just some clouds overall. Everything, the winds have started to die down, which is good news that we'll see. Overall, if we go back, we'll see for the next 24 hours, high pressure will start sliding eastward. That'll provide the winds to die down tonight and our coldest temperatures. But overall, we should see winds tomorrow start turning more to the west. It's going to warm us up. Breezy. We have a cold front that's going to dig south, but that's not going to really do much other than provide cloud cover and a wind shift as we get through Sunday and into Monday. Otherwise, we'll see the winds turn around, but it should still fairly be dry. We're not expecting a precipitation with that one. Overall tonight, as we step out, you should see 40s into the 30s by the time we get done with high school football tonight for some areas, and then overnight we're going to see temperatures, and I keep clipping the button too quick. We'll go back there and do that again. We can see temperatures fall back down to the low 30s overnight with light winds, so that's set up for potential for some frost or freeze problems for many of the areas. So tomorrow, once again, a little bit warmer today. The winds will pick up out of the west. You can see those about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Temperatures will climb up a few more degrees, getting close to 60 for many of the areas. We're still a little bit less than what we should for this time of year. And then further on for Saturday, more clouds, so it won't be as cold Saturday night. And then Sunday, we should even be warmer. So there's your temperatures. For tomorrow, we'll be closer to average, but still below. Tonight, once again, temperatures getting down close to freezing. Even upper 20s will be something you'll look at. Winds tomorrow, gusty, so you'll see that outside, but it won't be a big deal. Like I said, it's westerly winds instead of north, so that's a good news to come out temperatures. So if you look at the 7-day, once we get past Sunday, we get into warmer conditions Monday and Tuesday. We may hit the 70-degree mark one more time here before a front comes through. Rain chances look better for Tuesday night into Wednesday. Still some uncertainty if those chances will continue Thursday and Friday. But we do have a dry weekend, and temperatures are a little cooler, but still, it's a good time to see the leaves as they turn, because it only takes one good, wind event or precipitation, and they could all come down.
So if there's something you want saved outside, cover it up or bring it in.
Yeah, or it's going to be dead. Probably in the morning.
All right. Thank you, Greg.
Yep.
Well, workers underway to rebuild in Florida after Hurricane Ian decimated entire neighborhoods.
But one community hit directly by the storm came out with barely a scratch.
Bill Weir explains why.
When Hurricane Ian brought gusts over 150 miles an hour, much of the power grid in its path did not stand a chance.
Look at that.
And thanks to 2 feet of rain, even communities miles from the storm surge could not escape life-altering floods. But even as whitecaps ripped across the lake in Anthony Grande's backyard, he was chilled out in front of the TV.
You know, that's one of the things I said to my wife when we were sitting there watching TV. I'm like, I don't have any fear right now.
Anthony and the 2,000 families around him never lost power and did not flood because they live in Babcock Ranch, a community about 15 miles from Fort Myers, which is 100% solar powered.
I even held on to my generator, not knowing what was really going to happen. So my wife was like, get rid of it. I'm like, no, I'm not getting rid of it. I'm not doing it. Not until we go through the test. And this was the test.
This was the test.
This was a big test.
And now you can let go of the generator.
I did. I gave it to a friend.
Jennifer Langwell was nervous during the storm because with a PhD in civil engineering, she helped design this place.
I literally got my construction drawings out, and I looked at the wind load that my house was designed to, and I looked at my finished floor elevation, and I looked at the road elevation, and I just mentally was crunching numbers because I was like, this is going to be bad.
And it was. But their interconnected lakes and protected wetlands saved them from flooding. And the 700,000 solar panels in their 150 megawatt array all held solid. I always assumed that solar panels and hurricanes don't mix, that it would turn them into projectiles. But you didn't lose any, or?
No, that's the beautiful thing about engineering, right? Is that you understand the wind loads and you understand the stress and the strain and you design to that.
This place is the brainchild of Sid Kitson, an NFL offensive lineman turned developer who bought a massive cattle ranch, sold most of it to Florida as a nature preserve, and set out to build the cleanest, most resilient town in America.
Here's the elementary school. We have a field house over there, which is now housing people. There's a shelter.
I guess it's fitting that the mascot of Babcock High are the Trailblazers.
Everything's very well thought out here.
I gotta say, my heart still breaks. I feel a little guilty leaving the damage, but it's a relief to come to a place unscathed like this.
Yeah, we're feeling the guilt too, being out here. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've certainly got it really good out here.
It's unfortunate to feel guilty about it. I feel relieved that we're not adding to what first responders have to deal with, and that we're able to help the community. So we have people here making meals. We're taking in laundry from sheriffs and firefighters that are in from out of town. Because we were resilient, because we were durable, we're able to help in that way.
So yeah, there's the Tesla batteries. Never had to use them.
For those people who say, oh, if you want to live a sustainable lifestyle, you gotta live in a yurt and eat straw and walk to work, this is kind of a counter to that argument. You're not lacking for comfort.
No. The 21st century, you don't need to do that.
Yeah.
It's here. The technology's here. We just need to get everybody on board.
Right.
So, and make it affordable for everybody to get on board.
Interesting.
Yeah, very. I'd never heard of it before.
I haven't either, so now we know. Well, in case you missed that number, Babcock Ranch has 750,000 solar panels.
It's amazing it made it through the storm.
Engineering.
Yeah.
Coming up next year on Live, before we get a preview of Mila Kunis's new movie, The Luckiest Girl Alive.
And then coming up next hour at 5, it's hard to deny the immense interest in Jeffrey Dahmer's case, especially right now. Catherine Merck stopped by Portage to see how people in the town where Dahmer died are feeling about it.
Welcome to Dwellings.
Shop our fabulous showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
This is how it feels to do more with less asthma, thanks to Dupixent. Dupixent is not for sudden breathing problems. It's an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma and can help improve lung function for better breathing in as little as 2 weeks. Dupixent helps prevent asthma attacks and can even reduce or eliminate oral steroids. Imagine that. Dupixent Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Get help right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling, or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Who knows what you can do when you do more with less asthma? Ask your asthma specialist about Dupixent.
I'm Sheriff Jim Johnson.
I'm Sheriff Eric Severson.
We've got the real story on Mandela Barnes.
Barnes wants to defund our police, but he spent over $600,000 of your money on police protection for himself.
Barnes wants to eliminate bail for violent felons, and his administration has already released over 800 criminals, including 44 child rapists.
Take it from us.
Mandela Barnes policies are a threat to your family.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
The house before you, over 30 years old, still has its original window. Boom.
There's no need to be afraid of old windows. Call Feldco for 50% off.
It's the biggest sale of the season. 50% off Feldco windows, plus no money down and no interest until 2024.
50% off windows ends soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Welcome to Dwellings.
Shop our fabulous showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
New at 5, the rehashing of Wisconsin's serial killer history has brought up many feelings in residents. We speak with the nurse who worked at the hospital where Jeffrey Dahmer died.
As temperatures fall to the lower 30s tonight, a widespread frost and freeze should put an end to the growing season. The weekend should be dry with a warming trend continuing into early next week. I'll tell you how cold it'll get tonight at 5.
And then at 6, new affordable housing options are available to more students than ever before. We share how a co-op's move is creating new opportunities tonight at 6.
Here's a live look at downtown Madison from our Edgewater Skycam. Looking good out there.
Oh, a beautiful sky on this Friday night.
Nice
a little chilly if you're going to the football game.
Nice and crisp.
Yes, crisp. A best-selling mystery novel about a woman trying to reinvent herself has been adapted into a movie.
David Daniel has a preview.
My name is Ani Finelli. Soon, I'll be an editor at the New York Times Magazine.
Your voice is simply fearless.
And in 6 weeks, I'm getting married in a lavish but tasteful ceremony.
Mila Kunis seems to have it all in Luckiest Girl Alive until memories from her past resurface.
This is Ani. Nice to meet you.
Mr. Larson, it's me. Tiffany.
Tiffany?
Chiara Aurelia plays Ani as a teenager. When she suffered shocking trauma she's struggled to suppress.
She was very generous and kind of gave me like a lot of time and detail, and we talked about kind of like vocal patterns and mannerisms and the way she walked and talked and moved and the way we saw her backstory and her kind of childhood and all of that. And I think that kind of every moment of that had a huge kind of impact on, you know, the story as a whole.
I think we both wanted her to be able to play the character in the most honest way that she sees this character being played.
I don't know what's me and what part I invented.
The adult Ani is anything but honest, a reversal Kunis says she enjoyed.
Like if you're thinking a thought, your face naturally projects an expression and emotion of the same. And in this case, the character is supposed to project a completely opposite sense of emotion. Sometimes I feel like a wind-up doll. Turn my key, and I will tell you exactly what you want to hear.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
A big football weekend on tap. The UW plays Northwestern with a new coach.
And the Packers are in London for a game against the New York Giants. We'll have a preview of both when Live at 4 continues.
For over 40 years, RSVP, the Retired and Senior Volunteer Program, has been enriching lives in Dane County.
Both the Madison Senior Center and RSVP serve older adults and are looking to help older adults stay connected to the community. The RSVP Bus Buddy program brings adults to the Madison Senior Center to participate in events like our Health and Resource Fair.
It's a wonderful feeling because so many of these people were scared to get on a bus. They said, I don't know where to put the money in, I don't know how to catch the bus, I don't know where to go. I had one woman who told me just because I showed her how to get on the bus and go out to Easttown and walk around, she said she felt like she was going to the state fair. And so this was total independence for her, just to go out there and walk around and see people and have a cup of coffee.
Tom, why was it that you wanted to get involved in the Bus Buddy program?
Well, I'm a relatively new resident to Madison here, so I didn't know. I wanted to find out about all the nice places in Madison. I got the Bus Buddy sheet listing where we'd be going. They all sounded absolutely fantastic. I signed up for them all. Take me everywhere. But the one place we went I especially liked was Allen Garden in the university area. It's like a miniature Olbrich. It's the cutest, sweetest, loveliest little garden you ever saw in your life.
Look at the joy that this program brings to people. Thank you so much. RSVP of Dane County, where volunteers make a difference. I'm Emmy Fink, and you're buzzed into Madison.
Reducing prison populations is now sexy. Reducing prison populations is now sexy.
Sexy? Mandela Barnes's administration has released over 800 criminals, including 44 child rapists. That's not sexy. It's terrifying. And as a mother, I don't want Mandela Barnes anywhere near the Senate. From defunding our police to releasing predators, Mandela Barnes is a threat to Wisconsin families.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Nothing beats a great night's sleep on a new mattress from Steinhoffels. Right now, save up to $800 on Beauty Rest adjustable base sets. Queen mattresses start at just $449. Upgrade to the luxury and comfort of a Beauty Rest Black and get $200 in Steinhoffels cash. Plus, get a $100 MasterCard rewards card when you make a $29.99 mattress purchase with our Steinhoffels 60-month 0% financing. Isn't it time you got a great night's sleep? Relax, it's Steinhoffels.
Yeah, we've had a few incidents on the Beltway. We've actually had a couple crashes that were done by Southtown Drive and then Agricultural intersection 2 about 45 minutes ago. So it has backed up, but they are starting to clear up. There's some other issues going on along with the interstate with the construction. But other than that, everything else towards Janesville and things to the north should be good. And for the Packer game, you guys, you asked for London, so it'll be at 62 degrees.
All right, there you go.
Good to know.
No
Thanks,
rain
Greg.
either, no rain.
Jolly good. Thank you, Greg. It is a big weekend for football.
The Badgers travel to Evanston to take on Northwestern for the first game under interim head coach Jim Leonhard.
And for the first time in franchise history, the Green Bay Packers go across the pond to take on the Giants at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London.
Well done.
Molly Brown from ESPN Madison joins us. Good to see you again.
Hi, Molly.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me back.
Let's start with the Badgers. Going to Northwestern is always tough in the first place, but now Jim Leonhard, first time as a head coach. How are things going to go, do you think?
It's going to be very interesting. I think it's going to be interesting to see how this team responds to the firing of head coach Paul Chryst, and also what Jim Leonhard does. I'm not sure necessarily like what's expected of him. I don't know if people and fans are expecting a complete turnaround of the program, but I think that it's going to be interesting and very telling to see how this team performs and if they're able to win, essentially, especially going into a place like Northwestern where it's been very difficult in years past.
Yeah, why is that? Northwestern is always a challenge for us, it seems like.
So it sounds like, based on stories I've heard from various players, is that it's always gloomy going there. Like, it's always a rainy day. I'm not sure what the weather is going to be there tomorrow, but it's always a rainy day. And it's essentially like playing in a high school stadium. So if you're going from a place like Camp Randall, where you have thousands and thousands of fans, and then you're going somewhere where it's essentially like a glorified high school game, it sounds like it's pretty hard to like get used to that momentum change and all that.
And it's only been a week for everybody to get adjusted to all of this.
Yeah, not even. I mean, Paul Chryst was fired on Sunday evening during the Packer game, so it's only been a few days, and I don't think that the team's really made too many changes other than announcing that Jim Leonhard is the interim head coach, but all the other positions have pretty much stayed the same. So, like I said, it's going to be very interesting to see how this team responds to the change in coaching, and it sounds like all of the players love Jim Leonhard and they love what he represents for Wisconsin. So I think we're going to see a Wisconsin team that is going to be proving themselves for sure.
Quickly with the Packers, they're not all happy that they're going to have to go to London to play.
Yeah, it doesn't really sound like Matt LaFleur is too happy. I don't know if he's very happy with like the time change of it all. There's things with the turf as well. I'm not sure how this works when they go into a soccer stadium, but it sounds like they're changing the way that the grass is with turf, and it sounds like LaFleur is potentially worried about players getting injured. And then obviously quarterback Aaron Rodgers, he's come out and said that he wishes that they had more time to actually experience the culture of London. Cause I mean, they just flew out last night from Green Bay. So it's not like it's a pretty quick turnaround.
And you have to put your brats on at 8:30 in the morning on Sunday.
Yes.
To watch it here.
It's going to be a bright and early morning.
All right, Molly, thanks for being with us. Good insight as usual.
Thanks, Molly. Have a good weekend.
Thanks, guys.
We'll have a final check of your forecast coming up.
It's our biggest sale of the year, and you can save big
on quality home furnishings throughout the showroom.
Join us for our anniversary sale and help us celebrate.
Over 25 years at Waukesha Furniture ETC.
I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Ron Johnson caught lying. Independent fact checks call his attacks on Mandela Barnes false and misleading. But it's Johnson's views that are alarming. Johnson supported a ban on abortions. He co-sponsored a bill that makes no exceptions for rape, incest, or the life of the woman. And Johnson said if women don't like it, they can move. The truth is, it's Ron Johnson who doesn't belong in Wisconsin.
Hi, this is Lisa from 4Imprint. Yes, I'd like 50 welcome wows, 300 customer I love it, and 200 team member. Oh yes, certainly. You know we got some brand new woohoo!
Dial up the wow factor with promotional products from 4Imprint. We specialize in awesome items that are certain to awe and guaranteed to deliver some ooh yes. From apparel, backpacks, drinkware to high-tech items.
Wow.
I love it. Woohoo!
Go to 4imprint.com and find some wow now. 4Imprint, for certain.
Miss the news and need to know what's going on where you live?
News 3 Now is always on. Download the Channel 3000 app and get video on demand whenever and wherever you need it.
The Channel 3000 app. Get it now.
Powered by News 3 Now.
It's our biggest sale of the year, and you can save big
on quality home furnishings throughout the showroom.
Join us for our anniversary sale and help us celebrate.
Over 25 years at Waukesha Furniture ETC.
Nearly 30 years after the infamous killer Jeffrey Dahmer died, Wisconsin still struggles to comprehend the depth of his impact. News 3 Now speaks with a nurse from the hospital. He took his last breath. Then Naomi Coles dissects Darrell Brooks' defense with legal experts. That's coming up at 5.
It all comes down to the final drive. News 3 Now brings you the big play highlights and scores from Southern Wisconsin high school football action. Don't miss the final drive. Fridays on News 3 Now at 10.
And we're looking at a cold, chilly night. Frost or freeze likely. A little warmer tomorrow. And last time, we got one more day for the Coats for Kids. So please donate as the temperatures drop. We'll really appreciate that. Thank you.
Tim Michael's company has been sued numerous times for sexual assault and harassment in the workplace. But he says
people love working at Michael's.
Women said they were groped, assaulted, and pressured to have sex with their bosses.
We have a great work culture.
Higher-ups called the women liars and fired those who spoke out. So when he says this,
we have a great work culture,
know that the culture comes from the top.
Stop
Stop whitening your smile the old-fashioned way with strips and trays that can take 30 minutes to an hour. I'm Jonathan Greenhut, the CEO of Power Swabs. When I met Dr. Ginniker and he introduced me to Power Swabs and I saw how effective they were and how easy they were to use, I knew we had to share it with the world. Power Swabs was clinically studied to whiten natural teeth as well as stained caps, crowns, and veneers. It's so effective, it works on stains caused by coffee, tea, red wine, and even smoking. For those of you who have that one stained tooth that's darker than the rest, Power Swabs can target that area using swab precision.
I really love the fact that you're able to go individually on each tooth and make sure that it's going to be wider.
If you have yellowing between your teeth, if you have coffee or tea stains near your gum line, just snap, swab, and smile. And in each 5-minute application, you'll see whiter teeth. So stop whitening your smile the old-fashioned way with strips and trays that can take 30 minutes to an hour. And start using the Power Swabs 5-minute solution. Just snap, swab, and smile.
After just 7 days, the results were awesome. Power Swabs was easy to use every day, and each day I could see it better and better, and from beginning to end, it's definitely whiter. They look clean, they feel clean, and people have made comments about it, which is nice.
Call for your 5-minute solution to whiter teeth. Order Power Swabs and receive up to 40% off the retail price. And as an added bonus, by ordering in response to this advertisement, get a free Power Swabs Quick Stick Pen with your order. The Quick Stick Pen is your on-the-go solution to help prevent stains from adhering to your teeth after drinking coffee, tea, or even after smoking. And in addition to saving up to 40% on your purchase and your free Quick Stick Pen, get free shipping by ordering now. Dial the number on your screen or visit powerswabs.com today.
Well, it was another busy week in the Newshounds World Headquarters.
Without further ado, here's Louie and Oliver's best animal stories of the week.
Here's the Newshounds, Louie and Oliver, with their World News Roundup.
This week on the Newshounds, otter enjoyment.
You may lick the bride.
And holy cats.
But first, rare Fusa triplets have emerged from the den after being born at the UK's Chester Zoo. The 12-week-old pups began to venture outside after remaining tucked away for the first few weeks of life. The tiny carnivores are the first of their kind to ever be born at the zoo in its 91-year history. Fusa can be found in Madagascar, where as few as 2,600 remain. A distant relative of the mongoose, the Fusa is a slender cat-like mammal equipped with a long tail that helps it balance when leaping among tree branches. The Fusa is listed as vulnerable to extinction.
Over 100 dogs gathered at a minor league baseball field in Geneva, Illinois, in an attempt to break the Guinness World Record for the largest dog wedding ceremony. Organizers say 66 dog couples gathered, shy of the record 178 couples. The event, called Diamonds in the Rough, was great fun and a fundraiser for U.S. military veterans and animal rescue groups. You may now sniff the bride.
Speaking of world records, holy cats, look at the size of this kitty. Meet Fenrir at 18.8 inches tall. The Guinness Book of World Records says he is the tallest living domestic cat in the world. His human, Dr. William Powers of Farmington Hills, Michigan, says despite his size, Fenrir likes to be held like a baby. The good doctor says his fur babies make great therapy cats for his patients once they get over the sheer size of this kitty.
And finally, we have a trio of otters at the Oregon Zoo enjoying a seafood buffet, and we get to enjoy watching them. The otters named Juno, Lincoln, and Uni Sushi were deemed not releasable, according to the zoo and wildlife officials. The otters were in the Stellar Cove habitat when they enjoyed their snack. The zoo tweeted, "Seafood buffet champions." Perfect.
And that's this week's edition of the Newshounds Now Update.
Thanks, guys. Great way to end the week. We'll see you back here Monday. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.